The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all. You were born amidst the Dalish elves, noble wanderers who refused to join the society of humans that subjugated their homeland so long ago. The Dalish travel the land in tightly knit clans, struggling to maintain their half-forgotten lore in a human world that fears and despises them. You spend your time hunting with your clanmate Tamlin in the forests, and as is sometimes the case, your quarry is not always the local wildlife.
It's a Dalish!
And you 3 are somewhere you shouldn't be.
Let us pass, Elf. You have no right to stop us.
No? We will see about that, won't we? You're just in time. I found these humans lurking in the bushes. Bandits, no doubt.
We aren't bandits, I swear. Please don't hurt us.
You Shemlin are pathetic. It's hard to believe you ever drove us from our homeland.
We've never done nothing to you, Dalish. We didn't even know this forest was yours.
This forest isn't ours, fool. You've stumbled too close to our camp. You Shems are like vermin. We can't trust you not to make mischief. What do you say, Lethaline? What should we do with them? Does it matter? Hunting or banditry, we'll need to move camp if we let them live.
Look, we didn't come here to be trouble. We just found a cave.
Yes, a cave. With ruins like I've never seen. We thought there might be,
Treasure? So you're more akin to thieves than actual bandits.
But I have proof. Here, we found this just inside the entrance.
This stone has carvings. Is this Elvish? Written Elvish?
There's more in the ruins. We didn't get very far in, though. There was a demon. It was huge with black eyes. Thank the Maker we were able to outrun it.
A demon. Where is this cave?
Just off the west, I think. There's a cave in the rock face and a huge hole just inside.
Well, do you trust them? Shall we let them go? Run along then, Shems. And don't come back until we Dalish have moved on.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, shall we see if there's any truth to this story? These carvings make me curious. And if we find anything, the Keeper will want to know. This must be the cave. I don't recall seeing this before, do you? My thoughts exactly. With luck, we'll find something that will make us clan heroes. It looks like the Shem was telling the truth. But these ruins look more human than elven.
If you insist.
Time for a little fun. Ha! Been waiting for you.
I can't believe this. You recognize this statue, don't you? Back when our people lived in Arlathan, statues like these honored the creators. When the Shems enslaved us, much of that lore was lost. This looks like human architecture, with the statue of our people. Can these ruins date back to the time of Arlathan? We must have lived in other places, too. Even if elves didn't live here, its architects knew of our gods.
First one to kill it gets the prize. Oh, time to play.
Ha! I've been waiting for
This place makes me nervous. I'm not sure. This looks like a very old human place. Why would they build this? And why would elven artifacts be here? Maybe some of our ancestors lived here. In caves, like the dwarves. I'll stick to roaming the land myself. She takes any opportunity to gather elven lore. When the clans come together, they exchange whatever they found. She shouldn't come without hunters to guard her, though. The air here feels so... sinister. Well, whatever it is, it won't stop me. A Dalish hunter fears nothing. This place makes me nervous. I saw a picture of it in one of those old books the Keeper never lets anyone touch. It was one of the old gods. The Keeper called him a friend of the dead. Maybe if you paid more attention when we were fledglings, you'd know yourself. He was a guide who took people across the Spirit Land to their final rest in the beyond. But he wasn't an evil god, not like Fen'Harel, the Great Wolf. It doesn't seem right that a place so wrong would be his. Harren Pivel once said that in places where many people died, it can become Seth-Aneron, a land of waking dreams. The veil becomes weak and spirits slip into our world. Then they possess corpses and walk around. No. This place must have been important for so many to have died here. I'm curious. Let's press on. I want to know how our people were involved with this. I'm no storyteller. All I remember of the Harren's tales is that a veil separates our world from the spirit world. He said that spirits are jealous of us and always try to steal our souls. They want to be like us so badly, they'll even possess our dead, which drives them insane. But for them to enter our world, the veil must be weak. Is that why this place feels so strange? Neither do I. Aren't you curious? We could be discovering our history. Minstrels will write songs about us. If I were to bring some valuable ancestral artifact back to the Keeper, she might forgive me for... well, you know. Of course. You know I'd do anything for you. At any rate, I wasn't expecting this place to feel quite like this. Maybe this wasn't the best idea. This place makes me nervous. I suppose so. Hey, weren't you supposed to be assisting Master Verathorn today? How did you end up coming with me? I thought that might be the case. I'm glad. Let's just find whatever's here and get out. We can talk later. You aren't going to leave without taking a closer look at the mirror, are you? I want to look at it now. It's the only thing we've seen in here that isn't broken. I wonder what this writing is for. Maybe this isn't... Hey, did you see that? I think something moved inside the mirror. Look, don't you see it? There it is again. Can you feel that? I think it knows we're here. I just need to take a closer look. It's showing me places. I can see some kind of city. Underground. And there's a great blackness. It saw me. Help! I can't look away!
Can you hear me? I am very sorry.
You're awake! You've the god's own luck, Lethalon. You're back at camp. Everyone is worried sick about you. How do you feel? We don't know. The Shem who brought you here saw no sign of him. He was a Grey Warden and appeared out of nowhere with you slung over his shoulder. You were delirious with fever. He said that he found you outside a cave in the forest, unconscious and alone. He left you here and ran off again. The Keeper's been using the old magic to heal you. So he claimed. I just wish he'd told us where that cave was. Most of the hunters are looking for it right now. But the Keeper wanted to talk to you as soon as you awoke. Stay here. I'll get her.
I see you are awake, Dallin. It is fortunate Duncan found you when he did. I know not what dark power held you, but it nearly bled the life from you. It was difficult even for my magic to keep you alive. If he encountered the same thing you did? Yes. The Grey Warden said he found you alone outside a cave, already stricken. Duncan thought there may have been darkspawn creatures inside the cave. Is that true? Walking corpses? Dark magic, but not darkspawn. I know not what the other creatures might have been. What else did you find? What is the last thing you remember? A mirror. And it caused all this? I have never heard of such a thing in all the lore we have collected. I was hoping for answers when you woke, but there are only more questions. And Tamlin remains missing. He is more important than any lore in these ruins. If he is as sick as you were, his condition is grave. Duncan returned to the cave to search for Darkspawn, but we cannot rely on him to look for Tamlin as well. We must go ourselves, and quickly. Do you feel well enough to show us the way, Dallin? Without you, we will not find it. I am relieved to hear it. I am ordering the clan to pack the camp so we can go north. Take Merrill with you to the cave. Find Tamlin if you can, but do it swiftly. If there is any truth to what Duncan said, then Darkspawn may show up in these parts soon. We must get away from that horde. But that is not our only concern. Did you encounter any other humans out in the forest? Although you hurt no one, these humans roused their nearby village against us. As everywhere, our people are not welcome here. We have stayed too long, and we must move on, quickly. Our clan could slaughter their entire village if we cared to, but at the cost of bringing their king's rage down on our heads. These people are simple and have simple fears. This is their land, so we will go peacefully. Merrill knows a degree of my magic. Tamlin's chances of surviving the journey back are greater with her help. I also wish for Merrill to see this cave and mirror. She has a sense for these things, and could shed light on the nature of this illness. You recovered, and Merrill will too. Still, be careful. Should you come upon this strange mirror again, do not touch it. Go quickly, for Tamlin's life hangs in the balance. Master Island can help you. Go to him and ask to see his stock.
Is the Keeper sending you back to that cave to look for Tamlin? I want to go with you. Keeper Marathari probably won't approve, but I can help find Tamlin. Tamlin's my friend too. I want to help find him. If Merrill can risk it, so can I. Good. I'll follow you. Just to make sure Merrill doesn't go running to the Keeper when you tell her I'm coming.
When I grow up, I want to be just like you.
Thank the creators, we were sure we'd lose you last night. How could Tamlin be lost? He knows this area well.
Huh.
So you have returned to us, Dalen. We are grateful you are whole and well.
So you should be. What were you two thinking, wandering into that cave without first coming to tell the Keeper? Once you saw what was inside, you should have returned. But you kept exploring, didn't you?
I suppose your youth can be forgiven. Sadly, Tamlin pays the price.
Losing you would be a terrible crime, Dalen. You belong to more than just yourself, or do you not remember?
Let us tell these children the fall of the Dales. You can honor me by sharing in the telling.
Come then. Help me as I go along. Children, hear of the fall of the Dales. Hear the tale of what makes you Dalish. Would you care to begin, Dalen? Yes, slaves to a terrible empire the humans built on the darkest magic. When it fell, we became free. We built a homeland in the Dales, worshipping the creators, and rebuilding the culture and history we lost in our long years of slavery. They were resentful, because we would not worship their gods, and because we put our people first. Over the years, their nations grew cold toward the Dales. In their eyes, we were blasphemers and cruel tyrants. And so the Dales fell. They took our lands and dispersed our people, forcing us to live in their cities and abandon our gods. But many of us refused to relinquish our ways. We instead chose to scatter to the winds, wandering the lands. To survive and preserve our culture, the clans stay apart until the day the Elvenan have a homeland once more. We are the Dalish, keepers of the lost lore, walkers of the lonely path. Thank you for your forbearance, Dalen. You remember both the tale and the Oath of the Dales perfectly. I will let you get back to your tasks. I pray you find Tamlin quickly. The one who brought you back? Very little. He seemed decent enough as humans go. As for Grey Wardens, they're heroes without a doubt. Members of our own clan joined their ranks in ages past. Only that they eat living flesh and lurk in underground tunnels, once ruled by the Durgenlen, the dwarves. In the last blight long ago, the Grey Wardens all but wiped them out. Should they return, all races will shudder. I've never heard of such a thing. But in the days of ancient Arlathan, we lived free and spread far across the continent. We were as varied as the Shemlin, though fewer in number. Perhaps some of us lived in caves then, but all knowledge from that era is lost. Of course. May the gods guide your path, Dalen.
Ah, it's good you're well. You weren't here when Paul arrived, were you?
I've heard of you. Everyone is talking about you and the other missing hunter. A Grey Warden brought you back here. Only from stories I heard back in the alienage in Denerim.
Paul's a Flat-Air. He arrived here a few days ago from the human lands.
I heard rumors in a nearby human village that a Dalish camp was close, and I hope to find your hunters in the forest.
You were fortunate I didn't shoot you, Paul. I thought you were a Shem, and a bandit at that. You're not the first city elf to rejoin his people. I'm sure you'll find life among us more satisfying than with the Shems, if no less harsh.
In the alienage, we hear terrible stories about the Dalish. They aren't true, right? Thank you. The clan has been very kind and welcoming. I never expected it to be like this.
I'm training Paul. He'll have to learn how to handle that bow quickly.
I'm glad you've recovered. Once we find Tamlin, we can concentrate on the journey northward.
Thank you for the bow, Master Island. It is light and sturdy, much better than the one I made last year.
You are more than welcome. My father made it and used it in battle against the Clane tribes.
I will carry it with honor.
One of my own crafting, perhaps? It may not have a history, but you'll provide one for it soon enough, yes? Then I am proud to tell it. Our clan was one of the first to flee the Dales. When we came to Ferelden, the fiercest of the Shemlen were the barbarians known as the Clane. We didn't wait for them to attack us. Every Dalish clan in Ferelden united to bring the battle to them. They were barbarians without honor. They would have slain us without a second thought. The ensuing battle went well for us. That day, we carved out our reputation of being the deadliest archers. Our arrows won us the right to wander these woods at will. It was this very bow that my father used that day.
Thank you for the tale, Master Island, and especially the bow. I will honor its history.
We are all the same clan. His hand is as my hand. I have relinquished nothing. It was my father who first spoke of the Vir Tanadal, the three ways of the hunter. The first is the Vir Asan, the way of the arrow, to reach for our goal unrelenting. The second is the Vir Borasan, the way of the bow, to bend but not to break. The last is the Vir Adalen, the way of the wood. We are as ancient as the forests, each tree a part of the greater land. All Dalish are united in this. One day, we shall have a homeland again. Of course, take whatever you need.
By the creators, it is so good to see you whole and well. I was so worried. I can't help it, dear. I've raised you since your poor mother died. I've been outside the Keeper's tent the whole time. I have never been so relieved as when I heard you would pull through. What happened? Everyone says Tamlin may be dead. That's awful. I know how much you and the lad care for each other. It was always my hope that you two... well, let's not dwell on it. You must be more careful. Your mother and father, may they rest in peace, would be horrified to see you take such risks. What happened to them is a sad tale, and it's in the past. Reopening old wounds benefits no one. True. Perhaps you're old enough to hear this, though it hardly seems like the right time. Very well. If I do not tell you now, you'll only wonder. Your mother was a hunter, one of the finest, and your father was the keeper before Marathari. He was with us for a very long time. Your mother was from another clan, and her elders did not approve of the match. She and your father had to meet in secret. One day, bandits caught them alone in the forest. Your father was killed, but your mother escaped. Your mother held to life long enough to give birth to you. But grief racked her heart. One night, she simply walked into the moonlight and never returned. She just couldn't carry on without your father. The clan decided not to discuss this around you, lest it poison your heart with sadness. Our people have learned to live with much sorrow. It seemed only right that we not dwell on it. Your mother did leave you a gift. Something of your father's for you to have once you are older. Perhaps the time has come. Take this key. You'll see some chests behind the storage Aravel by the Halapen. One of them was your mother's. Its contents are yours if you wish.
The Keeper told me I'm to accompany you back to those caves. As her apprentice, I may see something you missed. But our main objective is to find Tamlin, of course. We must make haste. He may not have much time. Master Island could help you, but do not tarry. Enough to pique my interest and my concern. You can explain the rest on the way. What about Fenrirel? You didn't think I'd notice him?
I'm coming to help. Tamlin's my friend too.
We were supposed to go alone. Have you asked the Keeper about this? She is. I suppose I needn't worry about it then. Are you ready? A little, but the Keeper cured you. How dangerous could it be? Even if I get sick, finding Tamlin or something valuable will be worth it. Then let us make haste while daylight lasts. Were those Darkspawn? I've never seen anything like them. You can smell the evil on them. Where did they come from? Were they here before? What would Darkspawn have to do with our people? The stories say our Lathan fell long before the Darkspawn appeared. Well, we'll find out soon enough. Let's hope we don't find any more of these monsters. Before we go, are you all right? Were you hurt during the fight?
You do look quite pale now that Meryl's mentioned it.
Well, I'll keep an eye on you. You've only just recovered from your illness. But let's not think of that now. We should move on. I wonder whose camp this is. Do you remember it being here? You're probably right. Didn't he say he was headed back to the cave? If so, he's not here now. And we've seen no sign of Tamlin. Maybe we should... Wait. Do you hear that? Exactly. The forest is too... still. Something's in the air. Something unnatural. And now it's affecting the forest? Maybe that mirror unleashed some kind of sickness. That would not be good.
That's an understatement.
The sooner we find this cave and Tamlin, the sooner we can leave. Take us there quickly. So these are the ruins. Interesting. They're definitely of human origin, yet elven artifacts are scattered amongst them. Nothing explains the monsters, though. But we must find Tamlin, or what's left of him. I can't imagine he's still alive with those creatures about. Still, even if he's here somewhere, we need to find his body. Let's just pray we're wrong.
Going.
So you were the one fighting Darkspawn. I thought I heard combat. You're the elf I found wandering the forest, aren't you? I'm surprised you have recovered. I would have, had I not been battling them myself. Not all the kills here were yours, as you can see. My name is Duncan, and it's a pleasure to finally meet you. The last time we spoke, you were barely conscious.
And Darana Tishan, Duncan of the Grey Wardens. I am Meryl, the Keeper's apprentice.
And I am Fenarel. Did you come here alone, human? Battling all those creatures?
Yes, though I must admit you took a great deal of pressure off me. Your Keeper did not send you after me, did she? I told her I would be in no danger. So, you and your friend Tamlin both entered this cave, and you saw this mirror. Perhaps. The mirror draws Darkspawn to it. The Grey Wardens have seen artifacts like this mirror before. It is Tevinter in origin, used for communication. Over time, some of them simply break. They become filled with the same taint as the Darkspawn. Tamlin's touch must have released it. It's what made you sick. And Tamlin too, I presume. I agree. So long as the mirror exists, it is a threat to anyone nearby.
I do not fear this sickness. The Keeper knows how to cure it.
She may have weakened it, but she cannot cure it. Your recovery is only temporary. I can sense the sickness in you, and it is spreading. Look inside yourself, and you will see. Confirm it with your Keeper later if you like. For now, we must deal with the mirror. It is a danger. It is done. Now let's leave this cursed place. I must speak with the Keeper immediately regarding your cure. There is nothing we can do. Let me be very clear. There is nothing you can do for him. He's been tainted for 3 days now, unaided. Through your Keeper's healing arts and your own willpower, you did not die, but Tamlin has no chance. Trust me when I say that he is gone. Now we should return. The Darkspawn would have taken it.
Why would they take his body? Not to eat it, I hope.
Darkspawn are evil creatures, and it's best to leave it at that. I'm sorry. If you prefer, I can wait outside while you look around, but I assure you, he will not be here. I suggest, however, leaving sooner rather than later. You are sick, whether you feel it or not, and it does you no good to linger. As you wish. I will see you back at camp.
I'm relieved you have returned, and I did not expect to see you again so soon, Duncan.
I was not expecting to return so soon either, Keeper.
Dare I ask of Tamlin? What did you find of him? I see. Meryl, what about the mirror? Did you bring anything back?
I can answer that, Keeper. I destroyed the mirror.
I intended to use it to find a cure for this mysterious illness. I trust you had good reasons for your actions.
There is much to discuss, Keeper. I have learned a great deal since I was last here.
Let us speak privately within my Aravel, then, Duncan. Meryl, warn the hunters. If Darkspawn are about, I want the clan prepared.
Manuvinen, Keeper. Right away.
Darlene, allow me some time to speak with Duncan. Seek us out at my Aravel later, and we can discuss your cure. Tell Haren Pyvel what has occurred. He now has the sad task of preparing a service for the dead. Follow me, Duncan. I'm eager to hear what you have to say.
So you return with the Grey Warden, but without Tamlin. What happened, Dalen? Is he truly lost to us? Even if he's not, we must leave soon. To think I'd live to see this. It seems the will of the Creators that I sing the dirge for those I held in my arms as babes. I think I know why our immortal ancestors would sleep. Swiftly do stars burn a path across the sky, hastening to place one last kiss upon your eye. Tenderly land enfolds you in slumber, softening the rolling thunder. Dagger now sheathed, bow no longer tense. During this, your last hour, only silence. Our ancestors did not age as we do. The Shemlen brought a quickening to our blood that changed us forever. Instead of death, those weary of life would pass into Uthenera, the waking slumber. In doing this, they made way for the young. It was supposed to be a beautiful time, a celebration of the Elder's long life and contribution to his people. Alas, we have no such ceremonies these days. Of course. We've no body to return to the soil, but we shall still sing for Tamlin. The Creators must come to guide him to the beyond. Tell the Keeper, it shall be done before the clan is ready to move on. We shall sing for him anyway, and pray he does not suffer. I ask only one thing, if I may. This Grey Warden. You have met him now, yes? Is he a good man? Interesting. What is it he talks to the Keeper about, I wonder? Perhaps you should go and ask. Of course. May the gods guide your path, Dalen.
Your Keeper and I have spoken, and we've come to an arrangement that concerns you. My order is in need of help. You are in need of a cure. When I leave, I hope you will join me. You would make an excellent Grey Warden. Everything, I'm afraid. The Darkspawn taint courses through your veins. That you recovered at all is remarkable. But eventually the taint will sicken and kill you, or worse. The Grey Wardens can prevent that, but it means joining us. I welcome you to the Order. It is rare to have a Dalish amongst us, but they have always served with distinction.
I know you'll do your clan proud, Dalen. Take this ring. It is your heritage, and will protect you against the darkness to come.
A valuable gift. So, are you ready to go? We have much ground to cover, but I cannot deny you that. Say your farewells. Then we must be off.
Come then, Dalen. Before the Creators guide you from us, let your clan embrace you one last time.